Hold. Please, I ask you not to stroll. Listen to what I got to say. We're going to get through on the disclaimer and get right to Canton Network. This is very important. This will make you a lot of money if you'll just sit back and listen. We're going to get over here. If you can look at Canton Network, Canton Network is sitting at 0.1769, still up today, 0.52%. Wanted to bring to you, you see Bitcoin pulling back, but I want to bring to you this token is still going up. It's still up. All these alts are pulling back, but CC token is still holding up. And I want to get to, as I said, it's tied to BlackRock. BlackRock has invested in not directly with Canton Network, but indirectly. The Canton Network is coined and where it might be, it says in 8 years. Canton Network offers exposure to the accelerating tokenization of real-world assets. CC leads all Layer 1 blockchains in RWA value and generates more transaction fees than Solana, Ethereum, and BNB, yet trades at a fraction of their network value. The network is privacy-focused and permissioned with a comparatively centralized governance model. Let me get back up here. Which may be contributing to its low valuation and limited retail adoption. DTCC's selection of Canton Network for U.S. Treasury tokenization signals strong institutional momentum, but adoption, execution, regulatory, and competitive risks remain material. Introduction. On October 14, 2025, Larry Fink, the CEO of the world's largest asset manager, BlackRock, declared in an interview that we are at the beginning of a tokenization of all assets, utilizing blockchain technology. To date, less than 1% of global assets have been tokenized, but the total number of tokenized distributed real-world assets, RWAs, have exploded, increasingly roughly 4 to 5x in the past 2 years. See the chart below. Once market structure regulation gets passed by the U.S. government, it is reasonable to assume this trend will accelerate. Then there are stablecoins which have grown from a 10 billion market in 2020 to a 300 billion market today. Okay, Deutsche Bank conservative estimate sees tokenized RWAs valued at somewhere between 3 to 4 trillion by 2035. While Bernstein sees 4 trillion in stablecoins by 2035, placing the total tokenized assets at roughly 8 trillion. However, more aggressive estimates from ARK Investment place total tokenized assets at 11 trillion by 2030, while even more aggressive estimates from Skynet sees 16 trillion by 2030. So on the conservative side, tokenized assets are expected to grow by roughly 25x over the next 10 years. However, the most bullish estimates place growth at close to 50x in just the next 4 years. Regardless of who turns out to be right, one can conservatively say that growth in this area will likely be massive in the coming years. Okay, by companies that will enjoy the efficiency gains of tokenized assets. This is the most conservative option because it involves names like JP Morgan and BlackRock. Buy companies that help firms tokenize assets in relation to the 3 options. This is the middle of the road option when it comes to risk because it involves newer and smaller companies like Coinbase or Securitize set to go public this year. Buy cryptocurrencies or digital asset treasuries if you prefer, or of the blockchains where these assets may reside. This is the most speculative option. Okay, we get down here to Canton Network. In the recent article I wrote about Immune Incorporation, which is now the first Canton Coin digital asset treasury. The article details how Canton Network operates. Here I will just touch on the need-to-know basis, but should you wish to learn more about the Canton Network, please check out the Thermo Immune Incorporation article if you really want to a deep dive and go check out Canton Network University white papers. Here are the 10 critical points to understand digital asset created the Canton Network. Unlike traditional cryptocurrencies that publicly launch a coin to fund network development, digital asset raised money, built and tested the network, then launched a public coin. The network was purpose built for the financial industry with a focus on transaction throughput and privacy. Digital Asset received funding from companies like Goldman Sachs Group Incorporated, Sentinel Securities, the Depository Trust and Clearing Corporation, the DTCC, Bank of New York, Million Corporation, BK, S&P Global Incorporation, SPGI, and NASDAQ Incorporation. Compared to permissionless and decentralized blockchains like Ethereum, the Canton Network is a permission network with a more centralized governance model. To become a validator, one must be sponsored by an existing super validator and approved by a validator committee. The Canton Network utilizes a proof of stake holder model, which, unlike the proof of stake model, rewards application providers that build on the network as well as validators. This is the incentive long-term growth of the network. Digital Assets' goal was to create a system where the price of the coin reflects the utility provided by the network. As such, the tokenomics were designed with the intent of keeping the supply of Canton Network stable while avoiding supply shortages or speculation. The Canton Network prices transaction fees in U.S. dollars to provide predictable, stable pricing. With each transaction, fees are paid by burning Canton coin. As a result, when CC's price decreases, more coins are burned. And as CC's price increases, fewer coins are burned. Validators, super validators, and application providers get to mint new Canton coins as their reward for services provided. This is referred to as the burn mint equilibrium mechanism. The chart below displays the minting curve. Despite the coin just launching in November 2025, we are currently in the 1.5 to 5 year range on the minting curve as the network has been tested privately over the past 2 years. Okay, let's see if we can get down here. There are currently 698 validators and 39 super validators helping to process transactions on the network. The list of companies acting as superior validators include Circle, Internet Group, Chainlink, Tradeweb Markets, Broadridge, and NASDAQ. As of this writing, the network is generating 1.91 million in daily fees on 757.4K daily transactions. Right around 757,500 daily transactions. This places the average transaction cost at $2.51 and estimated annual fees at roughly $697 billion, based on a network value of $5.7 billion. This means it is trading at roughly 8.2 times annual fees. These numbers will obviously fluctuate daily, and the data to recalculate can be found here. Comparing investing is, in large part, a comparative exercise for assessing the value of Canton coin. I'm going to primarily focus on Ethereum, Solana, and BNB. My reason for selecting these is twofold. First, like Canton. The blockchains are all L1. Second, each chain ranks in the top 10 for hosting RWAs and stablecoins. And you got it right here. It's got the total value, 300%, market share. Let's see. I want to get on down to it just goes right on through. But I wanted to get over here and right here. BlackRock's $100 million Canton position. BlackRock acquired 2.2 passive stake in Third Immune Corporation, 765,829 shares via Schedule 13G filing, the publicly traded super validator operator on the Canton Network. This stake translates to indirect ownership of approximately 75 to 120 million Canton coins valued at $100 million. Concurrently, the DTCC received SEC approval, no action letter, to tokenize U.S. Treasury securities on Canton, with production launched expected H1 2026 and broader rollout H2 of 2026. Why it matters: Canton is the privacy-enabled settlement layer chosen by DTCC, Goldman Sachs, BNP Paribas, Sentinel Securities, and EQ institution processes $9 trillion in monthly transaction volume and $100 trillion in custodian assets. The DTCC co-chairs the Canton Foundation alongside Euroclear, effectively controlling governance over tokenized finance infrastructure. BlackRock's entry into the cap table of Canton's only public exposure vehicle signals institutional confidence in the migration path for Treasury securities and eventually all DTC and eligible assets. So that's where BlackRock is involved. Not completely directly, it's like an indirectly with Canton Network. And this token, once you see Bitcoin pulling back and all these other alts is pulling back, you want to pay attention to the projects that are basically holding up. Because once Bitcoin does its reversal, finds its bottom in the bear market, these tokens that's holding up really good. This token is holding up really good, people, compared to other alts. This is the banker's token. I want to come here and tell you this. Don't miss out on the chance of a lifetime. Spend some money in this token before it be a price soon one day that you're going to wish you had got in. I'm bringing you these real world asset tokens. Canton Network is the best token to be invested in right now. So I wanted to bring you this and clarify everything that I read to you, that I put in the title, on the thumbnail, that what I have told you here is the truth. It's not a lie. BlackRock, this will be BlackRock's main ETF right here. And if you don't get in now before BlackRock launches its ETF on here, they haven't mentioned it yet, but that's coming next. I'm telling you, this token, BlackRock will launch an ETF on Canton Network before it launches one on XRP. This is what BlackRock has been holding out for, not XRP. They've been holding out for Canton Network. They are indirectly tied to the Canton Network, the CC token. So I beg you, I hope you've listened to me this far. Don't miss out on a chance of a lifetime. I'm not saying XRP and these other tokens ain't going to do pretty good, but this one's going to outperform them all. I just read off some important data that you need to maybe listen to this video again. and go and look up the articles yourself. This token is the chosen crypto. It's privacy. The banks were behind this the whole time, not XRP, Canton Network. So I just wanted to bring this to your attention. We're going to cut the video short, and I hope to see you on the next one, and God bless you.